All right, so I'm going to walk through, actually do the entire water testing process here. I'll fast forward a few segments and I'll do a few quick cuts just to get rid of some of the filler. Doing the Hanna test first, usually. What I'm doing here is I use a syringe. It's a great syringe, actually. I just got a bunch of these off of Amazon for like 10 bucks. I get this really nice little needle, blunt needle, which allows me to kind of rinse off uh, the different vials, and then it allows me to do like really exact, so I don't get any like liquid or anything kind of spilled on or stuck on the sides of the vials. So that's what I do here, and I'm just pumping out some of the air. Then I go in there and I fill these up by 10 milliliters of aquarium water, which is what that container is that I'm pulling water in and out of right now. And I'm going to fill this up. I like doing alkalinity first. It kind of sets a baseline in the back of my mind about like um, where I'm at. And I think what's going to end up happening here is that my alkalinity is actually at 10.9, so it's gone up a little bit. So my system was a little bit changed over the last couple of weeks. I've been dosing Nopox from Red Sea, and I'm going to be actually putting that on a BRS automatic doser. So that should be a little bit easier to be consistent. There you go. I clean the vials out. Make sure you actually wipe them down with a microcloth. Put it in there, let it go. Make sure you shake the reagent for the alkalinity from the marine. Again, same thing. I actually make sure these clean. And you'll see what I'm doing here. I got I use the syringe that has the tip. The tip makes it a lot easier because then you know for sure you're getting the exact amount. And then verify that with Hanna. And then you just go ahead and just pump it in. And you really only need to do you don't need to really mix this. You just kind of do a couple of 5 seconds of just up and down just to make sure that it's thoroughly mixed. But you don't want to air bubble. So again, wipe it down with a microcloth, cut any fingerprints that may or dust that may collect. Drop it in. And this is so fast. Literally, push the button and you're going to get results in a couple seconds here. So this is in real time right now. And boom, 10.2. So I'm actually happy with this level of alkalinity. This is nice. I like hitting that 10 mark is where I want to be. So I currently dose automatically with my Apex system. I'm dosing both alkalinity and calcium using the two little fishes system. Now I always have a little container where I dump out my liquid that's in the vials. I don't like to let it remain in the vials. I know the alkalinity system is going to actually stain if you let it sit too long. All right, so here I'm doing the phosphate, and I'm using the ultra low range, the low range reagent. I do the same thing here. I clean out the vials, kind of mix it up a little bit. This is a weird one too because actually you have a time limit where the unit will turn off in 2 minutes, but the instructions actually say to shake the vial for 2 minutes. But in reality, you technically don't need to shake for 2 minutes. You just need to shake it to dissolve everything. So it's a little bit less than 2 minutes. So what I do, I prep the phosphate reagent, which is a powder. Doing a method where you just follow that line, it actually works nice. If you have that curved corner, and then you just go ahead and tap either side to kind of get the powder falling towards the center. And you kind of create a funnel, and I kind of open it up like that, and I just set it off to the side. And there you go. Turn on the Hanna checker here. Drop it in. I've already cleaned it. It takes a second for it to request the covet vial 2. So now I'm just going to open it up. And I've already prepped it, so I don't have to spend any time. Kind of bend that little front piece, and then I'll start tapping the reagent into the vial. And just lightly tap enough of it. You want to get all of it, so whatever comes out, that's pretty much it. You're not going to get all the powder on the edges. It's kind of impossible. So, yeah. Put that off to the side. Go ahead and close it. And at this point, this is where you're going to shake. Shake as hard as you can, as fast as you can. And this is kind of what you want to do to make sure that it dissolves completely within the fluid. You can see it's asking for C2, and it will ask for C2 for literally 120 seconds. So we're shaking away. Now you'll notice I'm not doing a full 2 minutes, and I'm looking at it carefully to make sure there's no powder. And then I'm also trying to get the air bubbles, because when you shake it really hard, you're going to get air bubbles attached to the sides of the glass. So that would affect the light transmission inside of the spectrometer of the Hanna checker. So I kind of just do this thing where I use the bubble that's in there just to kind of pull some of the micro bubbles out, and that pretty much does the job. Then a little bit of gentle up and down, and then wipe. What's nice too is that the reagent, the trick is if you put it in there and you hold the button down for a few seconds here, you'll see that instead of switching to the actual reading, it's going to switch to a 3-minute countdown. And I'll set that count down, and there we go, 0.12 parts per million. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's a good place for it to be, and I expected that to be at that location with using NOPOX.